I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon. Much more deep insights on Vedic astrology and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries. Now, in case of Aries ascendant, if you observe that Saturn is in the 12th house, 12th house Saturn will aspect your 2nd house, 6th house and 9th house, which means that this Saturn is going to bring your focus to your expenses. It is going to be very helpful for export and import business, for someone who wants to relocate overseas, someone who wants to stay away from family. But this can also make you homesick, and maybe you want to come, but the situation in the career or in other fronts are such that you are unable to meet your family members. So in this case, you will have to take great effort and show some sacrifice if you really want to become successful. If you are an Aries ascendant, this is not Sadesati because this is ascendant, but think like this. You are carrying too many backpacks, but when you reach the boat is too small to allow you to carry all the backpacks that you have with you. And now you are asked to choose only one. That means you may have to reshuffle your bags, open them, but take only that is absolutely necessary, and that is the something that you can carry along with you. Same thing will happen when Saturn enters the 12th house. It wants you to focus on only the necessary, and it wants you to remove your dependencies on a lot of things, and that is what will happen. Now, when Rahu enters the 11th house from May onwards, this will give you a lot of financial success, and technology-based growth will happen for a lot of people. People who are into pediatrics, who are orthopedic surgeons, who are into anything that is associated with health, healthcare, bones, pharmaceuticals, and even homeopathy, you will see that you will find great boost in your career during this time. Some tussle in the family can happen. You need to take care of your own health and keep your feet clean, and also wash your shoes every day. Shani Shanti Havan, Shani Puja is very much mandatory when Saturn comes in the 12th house, because it kind of creates a resource crunch initially, but as the time passes, you will see that Jupiter will help you a lot. Taurus. Now, in case of Taurus, Saturn will be in your 11th house. This 11th house Saturn will aspect your ascendant. So first of all, don't be too indulgent in parties and don't believe a lot of people, because this will be self-harming. Second, discipline is must. Third, Saturn aspects your 5th house, which means it is going to influence you a lot. Your thought process will be influenced on how other people perceive about you. That means you are going to seek validation. You will try to figure out whether you are getting a right amount of advice or not. Also, this is going to give you a lot of maturity overall. If you get some guidance from senior people, if you get some guidance from people who are experts, who are gurus, it will be best. Saturn from the 11th house will aspect your 8th house, which means Saturn has the potential to stir up the uncertainties of life. Suddenly, you might find a little difficult to bring or save more money. It might create a situation where you are trying too hard to increase your revenue, increase your profit margin, increase your salary. But if you keep working hard, overall, after a few months, this same Saturn is going to give you Amrit out of the Samudra Manthan that you do. So this is definitely a kind of a great time, but the logic is that you have to think in long term. Short-term approach may not work at this point of time. Because Saturn aspects your 5th house, it wants you to focus on more practical gain and practical education. Good time for certification. Career change may happen, and be careful if you are a football player or if you use your legs, such as if you do taekwondo or similar kind of sports. On the other hand, because Saturn aspects your 1st house with the 3rd aspect, it is closely going to watch how you think. So Vipassana meditation or any other form of meditation is kind of mandatory for you now. It's not a bad transit, but you need to give it some time. Gemini. Now, in case of Gemini, Saturn will be in your 10th house. It is going to affect your Kendra Bhava. Saturn in the 10th house is good. It helps you encourage and and move into the path of karma. This is a karma yoga time. You have to focus on doing things first and then thinking or waiting to get the result. Hard work will precede everything for you from now onwards. Saturn has a control on your Kendra Bhav. Saturn aspects your 4th house and Saturn aspects your 7th house, which means that this is going to be the time to be workaholic. You may have to travel a lot. This may make you travel overseas. So if you really want to find a job overseas or you want to work in a company that is not locally placed or locally located, then this is definitely a great time for that. Now when Saturn goes in the 10th house, this definitely shows that you are going to create a rapport with your supervisors and through hard work you will be appreciated. But you really need to wait for Rahu to enter the 9th house, and that is the change of fate. Because you are going to take some out-of-the-box decisions and out-of-the-box calculations or calculated risk that will change your destiny, that will alter the course of your career. It is a career-focused transit. In fact, for Gemini, Jupiter will come in the 1st house, expanding your identity. So name, fame, success, all that is possible. If you are in the manufacturing sector, if you want to go to the merchant navy, if you are into the shipping industry, if you are into the pipeline, or if you want to focus on government jobs, government tenders, or if you're just into technology sector, if you are into aerospace, or if you are into any high-skilled sector of the society, then this transit is going to work brilliantly for you. For the elderly, I will have to add here that you need to take great care of your bone and joint health, and this may dry up the joint fluids. So maybe you will have to take advice of a learned and experienced doctor. Yoga and pranayam, especially yoga focused on joint movements, is very much helpful, and I'm going to create a Gemini specific yoga class that will be launched very soon. Stay tuned. That class will be exclusively tuned to the joint movements and mobility exercises. Also for Gemini, Saturn aspecting the 12th house indicates that you need to take control of your expenses and you need to focus more on what is needed at this point of time. But it is not a bad transit, it is a positive transit, just that you have to spend equal time at your home with your family. So work-life balance is something that you will have to look out for. Cancer Ascendant. Now for Kark Lagna, Saturn will move from your 8th house to your 9th house. A 9th house Saturn movement is good to solidify your faith. This will make you believe in yourself, but you have to understand one thing, that this also wants you to work on your karma rather than rely on faith. It may also happen that you trust on someone and that the same person betrays you. So be ready for all these events that can happen in the next 3 years. And it does not mean it is a regular event. It will have a significant impact in your life. When Saturn goes in the 9th house, it aspects the 3rd house. And therefore it affects your communication, which also shows that you will become more sincere, more matured in your body language, in your overall communication, which also means that it is going to be very good for journalists and writers, especially travel bloggers who are working in the writing industry of any kind. If you are a content writer, it is great time for you. Now with Saturn aspecting your 11th house, you may have to struggle a bit to find a job or to change or switch or even book more profit. But if you are looking for a long-term approach and you are more reliant on your karma rather than assumptions, I'm sure you will find great overall trajectory for the next 2 to 3 years. Now Saturn also aspects your 6th house, which is a good thing, but when Saturn aspects 3, 6 and 11th house, that means 3 of the Upache houses are now under the drishti of Shani. So a Shani Shanti part, Shani Yagya is mandatory. You can contact our team Vaidiki for that, or at least from your end start donating things. 9th house related karma is spiritual karma. So the more spiritual you are, at least you are doing yoga, pranayam or any other spiritual action that you are doing is going to affect your life more, and it will take you to the path of positive karma, and this will not create any material or financial problem. Otherwise, too much of assumption, too much of belief on someone, over-reliance on one product, one thing, Saturn is definitely going to shake that a bit so that it acts as a reminder. Think about it and act beforehand. Be more proactive and you will find a safe space. It's not a very good, it's not very bad. I will say it's a kind of a transit where you will start believing in yourself. Leo. In case of Leo, Saturn moves to your 8th house. Now 8th house Saturn is definitely going to trigger some unexpected reactions from life. It is definitely going to give you more insights into the secrets of life. It is going to make you face your fears. So initially, it may look a little bit scary. But trust me, Saturn transit in 8th house triggers a kind of a response and creates a personality out of you that you even don't know if it exists or not. It kind of makes kings when it goes into the 8th house. It is difficult time, but not like every day when you wake up you are facing difficulties. It is going to throw challenges. It is like a test, and if you pass the test, you become the king. It is how Leos are made as kings. It's not easy. Kingdom, or when I say king, I mean when you are master of what you do, when you are at the pinnacle of your success, this is how it is going to be. Saturn going in the 8th house will make you bring your focus to more secured life. You will be no longer can afford to be immature in life. This is going to make you very much matured. This is going to make you rethink about insurances, investment. You will play safe. So which means that somebody who is into high risk career, or somebody who is going to go into financial risks, maybe you are into stock trading and you want to play big, Saturn transit in 8th house will be acting in an adverse manner. Saturn's direct aspect on the 2nd house, 10th house, and then on the 5th house reduces the chance of profits from speculative gains. In fact, this is Pisces. Pisces is an ocean. So the amount of information that you will get or trying to book a sudden profit, I'm not talking one-off profit, but I say regular intervals of profit. That is difficult. It's like crossing the ocean on a simple boat. So do not take a decision that creates your life difficult. Patience is going to be your tool to success. The more patient you are, and the more you listen to your family, the more you listen to the harsh words of your life partner. I'm not talking about insults, but somebody who really cares, and maybe they are choosing to say things in a little harsher manner. You need to be more humble and listen to them. Maybe the voice of the other people's opinion are actually going to do good for you. This is the time when you are scared. Meditation is going to really help, especially Vipassana Dhyan or any meditation that kind of stirs up the brain. Brahmari Pranayam, Nada Brahma Pranayam, Om chanting. Such kind of meditation will really help you in the long run. Overall, for Leo, Saturn in the 8th house is also going to open up the situation where you are doing things that you have never even thought before. New career opportunities will come. Current career might show some problem. There will be a sudden career change for many people. 6th Lord in 8th house. It's a Viparit Rajyog. That means you need to give it some time, and the more adverse situation comes in your life, the better your life becomes eventually. Virgo. Now in case of Virgo ascendant, Saturn moves in your 7th house. 7th house Saturn means you are going to see some difficult situation, some difficult and hard-working circumstances, and allow the Rahu to enter the 6th house to give you great career opportunity. Overall, if you are stable, if you are moving slowly, if you are moving in a planned way, in this Saturn transit and then Rahu's transit in the 6th house and then Jupiter transit in your 10th house kind of gives you a great opportunity for success in business, for success and maybe resolution of court cases, resolution of litigation, any problem related to land and property that will be resolved, but inheritance related matters, that specific matter may be triggered. So overall, what I see is that when you see Saturn in the 7th house, you are seeing structure and you are seeing firmness right in front of you. So you cannot afford to be random. You cannot afford to be kind of somebody who is like a backpacker. I'm not saying that is wrong, but Saturn wants structure and discipline out of you. So if you plan your approach, if you plan your entire day, it is going to be one of the best way to handle Saturn in the 7th house. Not only it will give you growth in business, but it will also help you launch new products. It will help you launch new services. Anyone who is into spa, salon, wellness, yoga, pranayam will see rise in their business. But Saturn's rise is not an immediate rise. It will first create a downfall. Bring your focus to your loopholes, and then slowly over a period of time, once you start correcting yourself and once you start bringing in changes, things will move in the right direction. So don't expect an immediate shoot up, immediate rise in your success. But the rise given by Saturn is lifetime. On the contrary, this can affect your married life. Saturn being in the 7th house and then Ketu's transit in the 12th house affects your married life, and your marriage may get delayed. And this means that if you are also into the Sadhasati, that means this can affect your relationship negatively. There can be separation or even worse situation. So in that case, get your horoscope checked by a learned professional astrologer. On the other hand, when Saturn goes in the 9th house, Shani Shanti Upay, doing yoga, pranayam, balancing your life, maybe hitting the gym, learning a martial art, giving your body enough movement is something that you need at this point of time. For Virgo, Saturn will aspect your 9th, 1st and 4th house. That means it really do not want you to relax. It wants you to get up, take the control of your life and focus on the right direction. So it's the time to act, not just think of action. Plan, organize and move ahead. Libra. Now in case of Libra as an ascendant, Saturn in Pisces is actually going in your 6th house. A 6th house Saturn means a positive Saturn. A Saturn that wants you to work on your flaws and focus on your future achievements, future targets. It wants you to take care of the uncertainties and do some micromanagement. But before everything, if your health goes bad, then nothing will work out. So this wants you to focus greatly on your overall health, your hygiene, and how you eat and consume food and thoughts. Because sometimes we think only on the physical health, what about mental health? So not only your food, solid food and what anna you eat is what matters, but also what thought you consume, what reels you are watching, what music you are listening, all that matters a lot. Saturn wants you to take care of all that, also have a good resting period and sleep, because Saturn aspecting the 12th house means a Saturn in the 6th, aspecting the 8th, aspecting the 12th, aspecting the 3rd. 3, 6, 8 and 12. 3rd house is your action, your ability to perform. If you are ill, this is going to greatly reduce the mobility. It can create joint issues. Especially for the elderly, this can create digestion problems and lower back problems. So one way to handle this is through yoga, pranayam. You can book our 1:1 yoga classes, which are horoscope specific, but doing some stretching, being physically active and taking care of your body as a temple is a must. It's mandatory during this period of Saturn transit in the 6th house. A Papagraha transiting a Papasthana, Dushtana Sthana is actually very good for your financial success. This is going to reduce your expenses, but some loan, a good loan, can increase. Do not try to meddle between two parties unless you are supposed to. You are officially involved. And this is the time when new job opportunities, especially in the service sector, can be seen greatly happening in your life. And if you are connected anyway to the Saturnian way of job, or if you are learning law, or if you are into the role of company secretary in India, or something where law and law regulations are involved, economics are involved, policy making is involved, government job is involved, manufacturing, transport, logistics, these sectors will see great improvement in the upcoming 3 years. Overall, if you are slow and steady, you will win the race. The moment you try to accelerate beyond a certain limit, you will face the problem. Scorpio. Now in case of Scorpio, earlier Saturn being in Aquarius was aspecting your ascendant. Now Saturn goes in the 5th house. Being in the 5th house, Saturn wants you to focus on the churning of the inner forces. What does that mean? It means that you are going to see the reality of a lot of things. A lot of things will show their true colors and faces. This may disappoint you. Some friends may disappoint you. Some relatives may disappoint you. This may also create certain distance between you and your children. If that is, if your children are elder, they may go out for education. They may leave the home for the job. So try to have cordial relation. This can create mental gaps also. A 5th house Saturn means the navel region is hit by the dark forces of Shani. So it will take some time to settle down. There may be certain events that are not easy to digest. So in that case, do not try to showcase your strength. Be humble and try to be as helpful as possible. Saturn is aspecting the 11th house. So if you are humanitarian, if you feed the hungry, if you are also reducing the quantity of food that you consume, it will be of great health. It will improve your health and it will also improve your karma. A 5th house Saturn also in Pisces especially also means that some trouble may come in education. So students should pray to Bhagwan Mahadev, chant Om Namah Shivaya, chant Saraswati Vandana. And you should not be very sad because you have not got the right result. But you should always constantly motivate yourself because Saturn means karma. 5th house is education and learn. So start learning. Learning becomes your karma for the next 3 years. It may reduce your potential to express. Don't worry. It just means that you have to be practical. And now, in case of marriage and relationship, Saturn in 5th house can terminate certain toxic relations. So don't be too negative about things. Try to see the optimistic, positive side. Saturn aspects the 7th house, 11th house and 2nd house. Now if you see, Saturn is aspecting the financial houses here. 7th house is the house of business. 11th is income. 2nd is your overall resources, your assets, your bank balance. By being in the 5th house, it really wants to regulate how you earn money. It really wants to regulate the income. And it really wants you to be more productive. So see, how can you be more productive? Now this statement depends on person to person. Someone who is in, say, army is a very different kind of productive person, but someone who is running a shop, it's a different kind of productivity. So whatever works for you, try to push yourself to be as productive as possible and try to reduce the lethargy, because lethargy and stubbornness might increase. Try to be more humble. Sagittarius. Now in case of Sagittarius, Saturn transit will happen in the 4th house. 4th house means it is going to affect your assets, properties, new beginnings, new initiatives will happen. Maybe you will see that a lot of things are being firm and solid in your case, and in many cases this means a karmic shift. 4th house is basically the Sukha Bhav. So Sukh goes away. Comfort zone will be created in a new way. Be prepared to work really hard, and hard work will pay off next year. That does not mean you won't get anything this year, but it is Saturn we are talking about. Slow and steady wins the race is the anthem. Saturn being in the 4th house aspects the 10th house. So it becomes very karmic. Saturn aspects the 6th house. It destroys your enemies. And then Saturn aspects your ascendant. It wants you to focus more on work. It wants you to become more leaner in your approach, more precise in your approach. But it does not want you to focus on the negative side of everything. Health of your mother can be into a challenge. So think on that angle also. For a lot of people, 4th house Saturn means that you are moving abroad or you get more export and imports. Manufacturing will happen. You can import new machineries. For a lot of people who are in transport industry, it's a good move. Saturn in 4th house may also give new real estate, but then you also have to see if it is possible in your birth chart. Now for Sagittarius, a 2nd and 3rd lord going in the 4th house indicates that your money is going to become solid. That means if you have a lot of cash issues or cash reserve issues, if you have liquidity issues, that will be resolved when Saturn will move in the 4th house. But you will have to follow the Saturnian rule, and the Saturnian rule is, well, to reserve, to conserve, to preserve. Also, Jupiter's movement in your 7th house is going to be very, very positive from the month of May for businessmen, and from the perspective of marriage, it just means that you have to be very, very humble, and marriage is possible when Jupiter goes in the 7th house, but Saturn shows that, well, there will be certain level of sacrifice. So if you're eligible and if your horoscope allows, this is how it will be. But overall for Sagittarius, Saturn moving in the 4th house is different than Sagittarius moon sign, because for Sagittarius Lagna, ascendant, this is not fourth Dhaya. This just a simple movement of Saturn in fourth also shows that your hard work will pay off and eventually you will be in a comfort zone. But this year, there is no substitute, but it's only work. Be prepared. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, if you observe, you are now seeing the Saturn transit in the third house which is your capability, your power to act, your power to react to situation. Third house is also your travel, your siblings. All this is now getting under the pressure of Saturn. Rahu will move into your second house and it will give you opportunity to work hard in the disciplined way and earn a lot of money, especially money that is flowing in because of export and import, through technology sector, through Rahu driven business and services, online services, telecommunication, IT field, IT industry will boom. And if you're connected to that, it's all thumbs up for you. Now for Capricorn, when Saturn goes in the third house, it may create distance between you and your siblings. You might want to isolate yourself, express less, or you may just find that there is nobody to express. In such case, try to follow the path of spirituality. Saturn is aspecting the ninth house, and therefore it means that you need to focus more on your spiritual journey. Saturn's third aspect falling on the fifth house shows that your words, which may be a little harsh because you may be too direct at times, can hurt feelings and reduce friendship and can break relationships. So be careful there. Now Saturn being in the third house aspects the 12th house, it kind of activates the Vyaya Bhav or the house of loss, which means it can create situation where you are either accepting the loss or you are doing some karma that is producing losses, isolation. You are yourself trying to trim the relations down and you are yourself trying to put yourself into a kind of a loneliness. Maybe you are traveling solo, maybe you are spending more time with you. Well, this is not wrong as long as you are enjoying it. But if you are not enjoying it, then you need to be very, very careful. You need to be more humble and you need to be a little approachable. Dealing everything with iron fist is a bad approach. You need to be lenient at times. For Capricorn, the recommendation will be doing some yoga, because there can be a shoulder related problem, neck or back related problem, spine related problem in many cases. So having that mobility and agility is the right way. Aquarius. Now in case of Aquarius, your ascendant Lord Saturn is now leaving your ascendant, going in the second house. So definitely this is going to create a little bit of financial crunch initially. This might make you rethink on a lot of decisions that you have taken. This might make you slow down a bit, and this might create family tensions, might create situation where there is a little bit of resistance coming either from your own funds, savings, and you are unable to invest or do some work, or coming through family. This also can create dental issues. This can create a gums related problem. This can create cough and cold issues. So when you are eating, when you're consuming food, you have to consume a little less. Contact an Ayurvedic dietitian or a good dietitian who can arrange, design food as per your body type, as per your requirement, because that becomes a really mandatory thing. And then with Saturn coming to the second house, it kind of aspects the 8th house. So it kind of impacts your finance, your partner's finance, and kind of interlink them. So joint assets has to be built in a positive manner. If you are unmarried or if you are an elderly person, try to focus more on savings, spending only on the essentials. Well, from the perspective of food, eat a little less and speak even lesser, because the words that you will speak may sound to be too true and may sound too harsh. Saturn will aspect the 4th house, Saturn will aspect the 8th house, and Saturn will aspect the 11th house. So with Saturn being in the second, aspecting the 4th, 8th and 11th, it kind of shakes up the financial angle of your life. And that means for many people, it might be that there are unexpected expenses on the negative side. There can be demand coming from your life partner, or there can be a sudden gain. Say, imagine you have been working too hard. Saturn entering the second house can give you fruits of your karma and you can suddenly gain a lot of money. So it's not just bad, it can be very good also. This can also mean that you are changing your home, you are changing your city, your place, your country. Very much possible there will be some restructure happening in your own home if the change is not happening. It may also mean that your company is changing, your boss is changing, something that impacts you greatly and has shaped your values, and something that you always thought that this will be continuous in my life is going to halt, and some new angle of living will start. So imagine you were living in a certain, say I'll just give an example. You are living in a 2 BHK flat, 2 bedroom flat, and you thought this is enough for you. When Saturn goes there, suddenly the need of a 4 bedroom flat arises. Now, whether that need will be fulfilled or not is a question of your horoscope, but I'm just saying this is how dramatic things can be. Or suddenly you might feel that let me sell this house and travel throughout the world. That's also a change. But such kind of dramatic change might happen when Saturn enters the waters of Pisces. It kind of creates huge ripples, waves. It will take some time to settle things and settle everything down. Control your nerves because this can create anxiety issues. Pisces. Now in case of Pisces, Saturn is going to transit on your ascendant. So definitely this is going to increase the Saturn's effect on your Lagna. Now on one side, this is your 11th Lord coming in your first house. On the other side, it is your 12th Lord also coming in your first house. So the first inference is that people who are into export and import business, who are working in MNCs, who are working in foreign affairs, who are learning foreign languages, or who have given their lot of hard work towards any ambition that they have, any target they want to achieve, will see great success during the next 2.5 years. That's the power of Saturn in Pisces. But because Saturn enters the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, initially you will feel dejected, you will feel sad, you will feel alone, you will feel the need to cut yourself off from all the toxic environment, and which is good. But there has to be a proper way of doing it. Otherwise, it will create emotional void. You may tend to avoid your friends and family. And you may choose a path that you should not have chosen in the first place. Sometimes it can be alcohol, just to isolate, segregate yourself. So certain kind of pranayam, certain kind of meditation is a must. As I said, for Gemini, I'm going to design a proper yoga class. I'm going to design a workshop, a one-day workshop for Pisces Ascendant and Pisces Moon sign native. And that workshop will target all of you who are Pisces Ascendant. Everybody is welcome, but I want Pisces to join. Details will be announced soon. Now, this is discipline. Saturn hitting your ascendant is discipline. Saturn hitting your ascendant is structure. You will get that structure, you will have to follow that discipline, and then you will win. Saturn wants to correct your 7th house, 10th house, 3rd house. All your efforts, are now hitting by Saturn. You may feel a little lethargic. Tamas is going to increase. So you need to correct your diet. You will think a lot. You will see that the load is so high that it is difficult to walk. It is as if you have a 50 kg backpack and you have to run with that backpack. Well, if you are able to run, initially it might be difficult, but eventually it will make you a very strong person. This transit is good, I will say, if you see it with the eyes of 3 to 4 years, but if you see it up to the next 6 to 7 months, then this is going to be difficult. Saturn coming on the ascendant reduces the degree of freedom. It reduces the chance that you will be able to achieve a lot of things in a limited amount of time. Multitasking may just go out of hand. So in this case, do one thing at a time, streamline your approach. Multi-threaded multitasking may not work, so take one job, finish it, and then move to another. Be it career, be it your business, be it your product. Slow and steady will win the race in this case. And then when Saturn hits the 7th house through its aspect, it kind of distracts you, it takes you away from the marital bliss and makes you work so hard that you are spending a lot of time, and sometimes it may not produce results, which is frustrating. But you have to understand why you started in the first place. You need to keep moving and keep walking. Continuity. If you maintain that, then you will win. But because lot of people will quit, and you should not quit if you think things are right and if it is as per Saturn's rule of law. Now for you, meditation, yoga, pranayam, sadhana, mudra, dhyan, samadhi, talking to a guru, or simply focusing on what you do, focusing on your core strength and then relying on your strength area is the theme how you can manage the next 2 to 3 years. Otherwise, overall, as I said, it is an overall growth. Do not forget that your 11th Lord is in first house. It's overall growth. But Saturn being Saturn, it will first teach you and then will give you.